Greetings, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Vent This. Now, please keep in mind we are not approved, endorsed, or certified in any way to give advice or even talk to people, but we're here and we're going to listen to your vents. We're going to try to provide some answers for you that might be helpful, and hopefully we'll have a few laughs.
Wow. I don't know how helpful we're going to be.
I was just thinking, as I often do, and it just came to mind to me just as we were, preparing to do this, that over 100 years ago, everyone owned a horse. Think about that. Only the rich had cars. Now today, everyone has cars, and only the rich have a horse. Just a little something to think about. So anyway, while you're thinking about that, Chrissy, you're here, right?
Yes, Chuck, and I'll say it again.
I've heard you mumbling.
Yeah. Let me think about that. No, I won't.
You won't think about that. All right.
Correct.
You sound very low energy. Did you get no sleep last night?
No, I got a lot of sleep. I feel good.
Maybe that's the
actually.
problem. You get too much sleep. You're
But
still
I got a
sleeping.
vent on my mind, so I want to get it out.
You got a vent on your mind?
Well, I think it's
Okay.
either a vent or a complaint. I'm not
Okay.
sure.
Well, do you want to go with it now, or do you want to save it for later?
No, I want to say it now. Get it off my chest
Well,
so I
get it
don't
off
implode.
your chest. All right. Get it
So,
off your chest.
Yeah. So I'm at the grocery store the other day, and the guy put all his groceries in the trunk, and he doesn't bring the cart back to that area where the carts go.
The card area.
He just leaves it next to him.
Yeah.
As he's pulling out of his spot, the cart starts to roll back,
My God.
and it hits a car on the
No.
other side, and you see the dent.
And then what happened?
And he took off, and I'm like, "Are you not seeing your cart roll back and hitting another cart?"
Of course not.
Well, what do you mean? Of course not.
Of course not. He's not seeing it. He doesn't care. He wouldn't
doesn't
allow it there in
care.
the first place. Yeah, we have. We've talked about this many times. There's just inconsiderate people.
Right.
there.
And so the guy coming out, I didn't pay attention. That was his car. He was getting, and he sees the cart and the back of his car that dented.
Mhm.
And I said, I rolled my window down or whatever. My window went down. And I said, "I'm sorry, I saw the guy do that, but he took off." And now I'm thinking to myself, does he think that I did that? I got nervous for a second.
Well, you just
and he
said
was-
somebody else did it.
No, I know, but the guys who
Oh.
owns the car thought maybe I did it. And I'm like, I
Right.
just saw the guy do this. I'm really sorry. I wish I had gotten his plate.
Yeah.
But he just took off. And I thought, and the guy just, shook his head, put the cart back and drove off. And I thought, how can people do that? Just, he dented the guy's car.
Yeah.
He should have stopped and put a note and said, "Listen, this is what I did. Let me help you out."
Well,
But
people do that. There's no fixing. Like I said, I said it a couple of episodes ago, and there's no off switch on stupid. And there again.
yeah,
People don't care. There's no off switch on inconsiderate and rude, but that's the way it is. Anyway, so did you get that off your chest?
I did. Thanks.
Okay, all right. So and now we want to introduce Gary. Gary is our engineer, and he's also a ventologist. Gary, welcome aboard.
Thank you. Thank you, Chuck. Hello, Chris.
Nice to see you, hear you, everything, Chuck.
Nice to be here.
Yes, there
Sorry,
we go.
Gary. Yeah.
Anything you want to get off your chest, Gary, before we start?
Well, I was just listening to what Chris had to say, and I think the level of inconsiderate people has really risen. I think people just aren't either considerate or responsible for their actions anymore,
Yeah.
and that can, that I see that a lot, and it does bother
Yeah.
me too, Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are they just into their own head, or are they just viciously going, "I don't give a shit," and that's it? I mean, some people are that way, even opening their doors against another car.
Yeah, yeah. I
when
think
they're
they should
parking.
put little cameras on carts. What do you think? So that it can record any kind of suspicious behavior.
Oh yeah, that'd be great. And then you'll be complaining that the groceries you bought now cost $3,000 instead of $400.
And then you'd see yourself on the video and go, "Oh my God, I look terrible. Why did I buy that?" Yeah, it's not a good idea.
Yeah. You don't want to do
Okay.
that. Okay, so the first vent up is one that came in on the website, and Loretta's here to read it for us. Loretta, give us that letter.
Hello, my name is Buster, and I am 94 years young. What the hell are the pharmacists doing by making the expiration labels on prescription drugs so small that you can't read them? I'm squinting all day. Do they want us to die? My grandkids had to read my Viagra pills to see if they expired. Then they started asking me questions about my girlfriend. You can see where this is going. I live alone, and I think a lot of people my age live alone. So what are we supposed to do? Signed, no, I can't read this.
Well, I don't see a problem here. What's the problem? I mean, so what can go wrong? He's 94 years old. It's like, come
Yeah.
on, what is he going to get? Three-quarters of a boner if it's a little bit expired?
Oh,
Give me a break, you know, or maybe we'll go the other way and he'll get a giant stiffy. I don't know.
well, oh, okay.
I don't see
Well,
what can go wrong at 94 years old. He's on borrowed
well,
time anyway. Just take it and go. Enjoy it. Get some of that. Go for it.
Well, you know, Chuck, I agree with you, but I disagree with you.
All
The
right. And that's what this is about.
It's the fine print that is so important because I know someone who's a doctor and also a pharmacist, and it's the interaction between certain drugs that make it very dangerous. And if people can't read those, they can really endanger their lives, their health. So I think make some room on that label for a little bit more of the possible interaction between a drug like Viagra or any drug actually, and what they might already be taking.
But if it's a little bit expired, is it going to really make a difference?
I don't think so. I really don't. Huge problem because what happens if the Viagra has expired?
And then
Buster,
that's the thing that he actually said after he took the pill too. He said, "Oh, this is a huge problem."
yeah. So what if he's thinking, oh, I'm getting ready for booby, and so I'm going to take my Viagra. Doesn't realize that the Viagra is expired. And so maybe in the past, he's had a good time with booby, and now this time it's expired and it's not going to work. That can impact the relationship.
Right.
So
He's partial floppy. Yeah, with
what?
Booby. He's got a partial floppy with Booby.
Oh, okay, this must be men jargon because I obviously, never heard of floppies before. But so you could see where this is going to go, right? The guy's taking the Viagra. He's waiting to get, having a good time, and wait, it's not working. He's thinking, uh-oh, I've come to that point where it ain't going to work anymore. But it really isn't that problem. The thing expired. So I think they ought to make these expiration numbers bigger, or like what Gary said, make it bigger and also put in with other, medications so you don't mess things up.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I want to know is why did he not use them and let them
Yes, he let them
expire?
expire. That's wasted time at 94 years old. Come on, what did he do for 93?
Come on, hey, use those darn pills up in
Yeah.
in a
Well,
week
I
or
know
two.
you guys don't have that problem and take Viagra, so we won't ask for your opinion. But what, Chuck?
No, I was just going to say that. I mean, I realize, if you've got health issues, I mean, if you've got heart problems or something like that, then consult a doctor and be right on top of that information, And I also think, having like exercise and eating good and limiting your alcohol and all that stuff is very important and helps with the
That's going
male
to help.
erection.
That's going to help the floppy.
That's yeah, you won't have a floppy,
It's
you get a full stiffy there,
so the
Um,
floppy goes away, the stiffy comes back.
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. You got to eat well, get exercise and all that stuff. But I mean, if you've got a heart problem, then it becomes a serious issue. And I think you really got to stay on top of those expiration dates. So, okay, fine. So make it bigger.
Okay.
I mean the expiration date.
Yeah, I'm glad you clarified that, Chuck.
But also, I don't think it's any business of the grandchildren to know if grandpa's doing Viagra and if you've got a girlfriend. So what? They were
Well,
starting to ask
but he asked them to read the expiration date because he
Right.
couldn't. Now all the kids know what grandpa's doing.
what's wrong with that?
Nothing.
I'm saying he was like, in the letter he writes, well, you know where this is going to go. Well, okay, maybe it goes somewhere, but hey, the kids shouldn't ask. It's a private thing.
Yeah, I
They
mean, I
don't
think
want to
it's
know
a-
about the grandpa's floppy or stiffy or whatever the hell it's called.
Right, exactly. I'm sure. I think it's very important to have a happy grandpa. Before and get stiff before you are a stiff.
Oh, okay, I think we should move on. Enough with the floppy and the discs. Should we move on to the next one?
All right, let's go to the next one.
Great. Well, this is a voicemail that came into our Ventus telephone number.
Okay, I want to do a on the spot. on location, vent. Every day, I stop and get a cup of coffee at one of the local Wawas. Where'd they come up with that name? Anyway, I'm sick and tired of approaching the nice little kiosk that they have with the milks and creamers and sugars and cups. What is with the people that can't pick up after they pour their coffee and cream their coffee and sugar their coffee? Every day. It's a freaking mess, and hey, I'm one of those that cleans up after others, and it gets a little old, you know. So anyway, I just wish that people would grow up and pick up. Oh, by the way, this is Ting. Have a lovely day.
Well, this guy, I hope this guy left us this voicemail before he had his coffee, because he sounds like he's, needing a couple of cups of coffee.
For sure.
Yeah,
Agreed.
yeah. But
Um,
I go ahead, Chrissy.
Well, I was going to say he sounds like he's a neatnik, but I do, because he's really concerned about it. But forgetting about that for a second, I totally agree with this guy. First of all, I've never heard of a Wawa. I don't
Well,
even know.
Wawa's on the East Coast. I know they're in Florida, and I think they're in Georgia, and it's like a convenience store and a gas station
Is it like a
combination.
7-Eleven?
Well, like a 7-Eleven, yeah, or like Chevron has them, and I mean, all these
Right.
gas companies have where you can get
Extra
gas and go and
Mile.
buy sodas and potato chips and sandwiches.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wawa is just like that. I think they even have a car
Okay.
wash on some of them, and get your shoes cleaned and whatever, change your pants, get your shirt sewn, whatever you need. It's a
Yeah.
one stop for all things, kind of.
And I haven't really tasted anything that tastes like coffee in any of those places.
Well,
That's for
yeah, I
sure.
mean,
Yeah.
maybe you want to go to a better place, but you're still going to
You,
find.
you need a lot more sugar and a lot more
Yeah,
cream to
yeah.
make it taste anything close to coffee. But yeah, people need to kind of look over their shoulder at what they're leaving behind. Clean up after yourself. I mean, it's the right thing to do. I mean,
Don't even look over your shoulder. Look in front of you and look at the mess you're making.
Yeah.
Yeah, your mom isn't there with you cleaning up after you.
Right.
You know?
I
Yeah,
think they
nobody
should
needs
call-
to clean up. Nobody needs to clean up after you, and don't be a slob. Clean up your stir sticks and your creamers and your spills and all that stuff.
Especially if somebody's behind you. Don't you think that the person behind you is watching you?
Well, somebody's
making
always
a-
going to be behind you, even if they're not right behind you. You're leaving a mess for the next person that's going to come in.
Right.
Whether you're at the Wawa, the Woo Woo, or the Wawa, the Wee Wee, whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, Starbucks, Coffee Bean, any of these places,
Yeah.
when you're going up, and even some restaurants have places where you can go up and use the soda machines and get your own drinks, and you make a mess. It's like, clean up after yourself. Don't
I
be
know
don't be a
yeah.
jerk, and don't be a jerk and take a stack of napkins when you leave and a bunch of plastic
Oh, yeah.
spoons. That's the reason that your coffee costs $7 for a cup of coffee now. Somebody's
Yeah.
got to pay for this stuff.
For sure. Yeah, it should be called won't instead of Wawa, because I won't go in there. Because one of the reasons why I don't get a cup of coffee in a place like that is because it looks like such a mess.
Yeah, but it's
And you're, like,
Starbucks. Did you go to
disgusted by it.
Starbucks?
Yeah,
Starbucks
I
has got the
know.
same thing,
Yeah, it happens everywhere.
Yeah.
It
It's
really does.
You know why? It's because they know somebody's going to clean up after them and they don't have to do it. And that's the wrong attitude.
Right.
So,
right.
and not only that, when the sugar spills, it gets all sticky. You don't know where to put your cup down. Just people clean up after yourselves. What does it take? An extra second?
And it's not even just at that kiosk or that creamer station. It also happens at tables. You go to sit down at a table, there's a bunch
Yeah.
of crap that's sticky because the employees are busy trying to help people and get coffee, and they can't come
Right.
out and clean tables after everybody, after each person sits there.
Right.
So it's just an ongoing thing. Just be courteous.
Especially if they don't have a busboy. Those places where you have to, bring a tray back and, clean up after
Right.
yourself. They don't.
Yeah.
They don't. I'm
yeah.
sitting there and I can't get up because
Right.
my pants are stuck to the seat because somebody spilled their ketchup.
Right.
I can go
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. I've never
Yeah,
gotten
and in this economic world, they're having a hard time finding people to work in these restaurants.
Anyway,
especially
yeah.
the fast food places.
Yeah.
So if you can clean up after yourself,
Do it.
Yeah, because you might be the one that benefits by the person in front of you cleaning up.
So
Right.
basically, people just be courteous, clean up after yourself, and then we can all enjoy these things.
And get along.
Yes. Get
Yeah.
along. Get along.
Moving on to the last vent, perhaps, gentlemen?
I think so. I think we have another letter, don't we? One of us have to read it. Is that what happens here?
I think so. Well, the next letter did come into our website, and it's from this man who signed it himself, Gopher, show your face. Here we go. Has anybody out there had a gopher problem? Well, I do, and it's not only annoying, it wreaks havoc on my lawn. I tried putting coffee in the hole, water in the hole, and gum, but nothing seems to work. My friend told me to shoot them, but I can't do that. Plus, when these critters come out, I never see them. I think this gopher wants to live next to me because I have fruit trees, and he seems to have, and he senses that I have a soft heart. Well, that's cute that he senses that. My front lawn looks like a minefield. I'm embarrassed to think what other people might say when they see my lawn.
Well,
Go
you know,
for
first of all, if you've got rodents, giving them coffee, it's like, well, who the hell came up with that idea? It's like they're going to do more damage in half the time. They're going to be running around. It's like
They're
that's not
going to
going to.
have adrenaline.
Like who would do that? And then he said he's tried putting gum in the hole. Well, they're gonna chew that stuff and spit that shit out on your patio, and you're gonna get your feet stuck on your gum on your shoes. It's like, oh, this guy's getting the wrong guidance here.
I don't know. I don't know.
Well-
There's a company or two out there called Gopher Getters. Go get them. I mean, if you own a house and you actually have a lawn or some sort of property, you're in certain parts of the country that this is really prevalent. What you suffer. Certainly, apartment dwellers or people inside the city don't really have experience with this, but some of us, oh my goodness, you get rid of them in a month, they're back. Goodness sakes, drives me crazy too.
I was just going to say, like my husband doesn't believe in calling a gopher company. He thinks let them come, do their thing, and let them go away. And I keep telling
Exactly.
him,
And then they'll go. We just need to learn to coexist. It's like, you got to remember, it's like, they've been here and we built houses and yards and playgrounds where they used to live. If you have fruit trees, it's like, didn't he say he had fruit trees or something
Yeah.
also in the letter? Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
if you got fruit trees, it's like, come on. And everybody needs a little fruit in their diet. You can't fault them for that if the rodents want fruit.
hey, has anybody seen Caddyshack?
Oh yeah.
Yes, Caddyshack.
The one where, isn't Caddyshack the one where the gophers come out of the golf holes?
Yeah.
Is it gopher or a woodchuck? I think
No, it's a gopher. It's a gopher.
So how did they get rid of that in Caddyshack? What did
I
they
don't
do?
know. They
I
ended the
know.
movie. The movie came to an end.
I remember some sort of explosion or something. He was getting desperate.
Oh, so he put, yeah, we're not,
You
we're
just
not
got to
gonna do
live with
that.
them. And I'm not an advocate of using poison. I mean, poison can
Yeah.
easily be consumed by animals that are wild, and neighborhood dogs and cats, and sicken them or even kill them. So it's like I'm
Yeah.
not big on. I'm let them do their thing, and eventually they'll move on. They'll get bored, just
You
like
think
people
so?
get bored. Oh yeah, just like us. Don't you get bored with your house and you want to remodel it and things like that and change things, buy new
100%.
furniture? Okay,
Yeah.
they don't have to buy furniture. They just move to the next yard. That's all.
And they don't,
All these crazy gophers. I got to tell you,
Yeah.
Chris, Chuck, the one experience that we've had here, we got a nice plant, put it in the ground. It just didn't look good. Just wasn't looking good. I mean, we used fertilizer.
Did you say
watered
ice
it well.
plant or nice plant? Nice
A
plant.
nice
okay.
plant. A nice
Okay.
plant.
we're not in
So
Iceland.
after a week or two, we went over and kind of wiggled it, and it pulled right out of the
Oh.
ground. There was absolutely no root
Bad.
left. Yeah, that's they might really enjoy what you put in the ground, but it certainly is costly food.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
not
but-
only that, Chuck, I think you're wrong. Maybe they do come back.
Me?
They don't
Me
go
wrong?
away.
Wait,
I
you
know
said
it's
I'm wrong?
impossible. Yeah, I know. You're never wrong. But they don't. They come back. These little monsters. They come back. And who's ever seen a gopher? Have you ever seen a gopher?
No,
No,
Are they
you can't.
nocturnal?
No,
I hope our listeners can help us out.
well, actually, I've seen ground squirrels, and I've never seen a gopher really in my yard, but I've seen ground squirrels and little moles. They're smaller, not like
Yeah.
the kind you get on your face. It's really a
Yeah.
rodent with legs. Um,
Okay.
or
At
you
least
can
the
get.
ones
I
on your
guess you can
face.
get. Yeah, you can get moles in other parts of your body too. I guess, but you know,
I wonder, do you think moles get moles?
that's something to think about. I'm gonna Google that and find out.
Okay. Well, a mole on your face or anywhere else you can get rid of, but you can't get rid of gophers
Unless it's a
or
mole that
moles.
jumped out of a hole and got and went onto your face.
Oh, ouch.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you've got a problem.
If it's a mole growing there as opposed to a mole that's climbing there.
Okay. Well, I don't think we solved Gopher
No,
Man's problem at all.
No, leave the little critters alone. Leave the critters alone. Let them have a party. Put some peanuts out for them.
Yeah. Okay.
They'll leave eventually. They don't stay there forever. I've seen them come into my yard, out of my yard, and they put the sprinklers on. They also have little devices you can put in your yard that sense motion, and it makes a sound, and it kind of like frightens them away.
Shoos them away. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You
it
should
shoos
look
them
into
away. Yeah,
that.
it makes like a little beep like that, and
Huh?
it startles
How does
them
it
and
go?
they leave. Beep. Yeah.
Okay, great. I hope
Um,
let's let him hope he listens. He can maybe get one of those.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I
Anyway,
think, Chucky, we wrapped this up. Gary, I think we did a great job.
Yeah.
We didn't help anybody, but at least we wrapped it up here.
well,
So-
hopefully we gave them a couple of laughs.
Yeah, maybe.
Provide
Yeah.
everybody with some food for thought and some chuckles. So
Yeah. Help people get through their day with a smile on
yeah,
their face.
Gary, this was great. We'll do this again, and we
Yeah.
do it every week. So, but don't forget to go to ventthis.org and write us a vent. Right on the website. Go to the website ventthis.org and write right on the website, and we'll read your letter. Or you can leave us a voicemail vent by calling 818-570-2535.
What is that number?
What's that number, Chuck?
Oh, you guys want to hear that number again?
Yes.
It's 818-570-2535.
Well
We'll
done.
play your voice. What?
Well done.
Okay. We'll play your voicemail on an upcoming episode. So anyway, my parents were very cautious. I don't know what you guys went through, but they were very cautious. I remember one time when I was a kid, I asked my mother if I could watch the solar eclipse, and she was very cautious. She looked at me for a second, and she said, yes, but don't get too close.
Okay, it's time to wrap up. Chuck's talking too much.
All right. Goodbye, everyone.
All right.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Catch you next week.